Audi e-tron has been out for a couple of months here in the United States and even longer around the world. And you gotta give it, no matter what you think of Audi or of this particular car, you gotta give it to them. They're really putting their money where their mouth is. They've spent a lot of money on advertisement. And the only other manufacturer that I've seen doing this from the very beginning really is Nissan. But now Audi and Nissan got involved into a very little, almost like high school, exchange on Twitter. But this one was, I wouldn't say bad at all. I would say good, or at the very least entertaining. And you know who was a catalyst for this? Of course, the Twitter master, Elon Musk. I'll tell you all about this coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric.
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. Of course, I want to thank all of my Patreons for supporting the show, and you guys are the only people who can watch this live, and including one of my newer ones, Ken Greenberg. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon. If you want to join, boom, patreon.com/E4 Electric. All right, so as I mentioned, Audi and Nissan have been putting out all kinds of that. Audi is spending this money like crazy. There are billboards all over San Francisco Bay Area. You've probably seen a lot of advertisement, just little banners here and there, and pre-roll ads for YouTube videos. As a matter of fact, because I'll have Audi in the title of this video, there'll probably be pre-rolls in this video that are for Audi e-tron, which is perfect and great. And of course, they became the very first automaker to advertise an all-electric car during the Super Bowl, spending about $5 million on that. In one of their latest commercials, a lot of people like it. I personally think it's a great commercial. It's called Not For Me or Not For You. It's a great commercial if you already have an electric car or sold, on that idea. But if you're not, I feel like it's not only not helping, but I think it's actually kind of almost reinforcing your fears about electric cars. But just like I said, some people really like it. I'm just not a big fan. But my favorite one of all time is this one. This is from 2012. Well, in this latest era of electric cars, Nissan was pretty much the first one to come up with a Nissan Leaf back in 2012. Granted, not a very good looking car or having great tackle, having, I think it's only like 80 miles EPA rating, very, very, originally, but they did do it in this commercial. I absolutely love it. It's a polar bear that basically ends up walking all the way from a Arctic circle and ends up hugging one of the first electric Nissan Leaf owners. So you can Google it. I don't want to be distracting you guys with that, but it's really cool. And the history behind that, this guy, they were going to hire an actor for this commercial, but they ended up like not being able to have the real bear get along with him. So the guy who's actually hugging the bear is the bear's trainer. So anyway, I love this commercial, and they've been doing a great job, Nissan and Audi. But here's what happened. Here's what happened the other day when Audi put together. I think it's like a 6-second. I wouldn't even call it a commercial, right? It's just a quick video of e-tron driving in the snow, and they said, do you know electric? Think again with quattro-wheel drive. The fully electric e-tron SUV is ready for the road ahead. I forget what the tagline was. It was one of the weird ones that I don't really understand sometimes. You guys might have to explain it to me. But what's happened after that, I mean, this is pretty common, right? They've been doing, if you follow Audi on social media, they put together little videos here and there. Again, they're not commercials. They're more like kind of a quick reminders, right? But here's what happened next. Before we get to that, of course, I want to remind you that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byton. Check out the all-electric Byton M-Byte SUV coming to the US and Europe next year, and starting at only $45,000, over 50,000 people are now on the reservation list, including myself. I don't know why you are not, because it really takes no money down, and it takes about 60 seconds to reserve yours. So go to the description of this video and use that link to reserve yours and join all of us today. Okay, so here's what happened next. So Audi posted this, and then Elon, all of a sudden, this is not very common for him, but he retweeted that saying great ad. And it's kind of weird on different ways, right? Because Elon has not really acknowledged other companies that much. When he acknowledges other companies, it's about how Tesla is much better than them, how they're beating them in sales. And even though the overall goal, he always said that it's, he wants everybody making electric cars. And if, Tesla never makes it, but everybody else ends up making an electric cars, he would be very happy. Not really sure. I mean, maybe personally he feels that way, but obviously not a good thing to say as a CEO of a for-profit corporation. But that aside, this is very rare. So that was really cool. I'm not really sure why he picked this one. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I don't even understand why he picks stuff that he picks. Obviously my experience with him a couple times when he replied to my messages that were not really that friendly to him, but he replied, and when it's something actually constructive, he doesn't. Anyway, he picked this one, he retweeted it. I thought it was kind of cool, but that's not where it ended. Then Nissan saw that and tweeted out this. They said, well, we weren't going to launch this until next week, but since everyone is playing so nice this morning at Audi, enjoy. And they posted their a new 30-second spot. Now, I have to say that I'm sorry, guys. They literally just have it there and nowhere else. I contacted the PR team so I can download it and show it to you guys, but I'm not able to. Now, I do have to say it's not even worth looking at because essentially there's just a person flying through the city and then just kind of becoming a Nissan Leaf, and they're saying this is what the driving experience should be. So it's almost like in a Audi styles, like, wait, what's going on? Like, my problem with these commercials is that, listen, guys, don't make them into regular car commercials, because regular car commercials don't have to sell the gasoline cars, right? They don't have to say, oh, those horseless carriages, you should really get them, and they also have the four-wheel drive feature, right? But here you have to sell the idea of electric cars first and then sell your electric car. And I think you guys kind of, all of them are, skipping that that very important point, and that's what this commercial is about. But it was interesting to see. By the way, you can go to @Nissan USA and watch it. I think it was posted 2 days ago on May 25th over the weekend. So it was kind of interesting that they've kind of butted in and kind of had this kind of a love fest, right? I don't know if they're trying to have a competition or they're trying to add to kind of a more of an excitement. Elon was involved. Nothing else happens, from that point. I wish if something does happen, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. But this goes back to Tesla's strategy of, in as much as I hated how they've handled the Love Day project, there was something to it, right? Commercials made, these videos made by the very people who are fans of the brand are always the best, because I think the way to sell electric cars right now are not putting together sort of billboards or advertising on television. You kind of have to put us, the fans, that are people who are driving these cars and live among the other people in our communities. Tell our neighbors, tell our coworkers, tell our friends, and I think that is the best way to advertise. So that's why I thought the concept of Love Day project from Tesla was great, and I was one of the participants. I think it was handled poorly. Even Mr. Loveday thinks that, but I think this is this is stealable. Other brands, it's not copyrighted. Do the same thing. There are plenty of fans of Nissan Leafs and BMWs i3s and Audis that will be more than happy, including myself, to help out with that and promote from within the community. But I don't know how much of a news this is, but I think this is the first time I felt really good reporting on something that happened on Twitter, which doesn't happen very often. Now, don't forget to subscribe to our VIP list, where we deliver some exclusive stories to you guys every Saturday for free. You can go to e4electric.com/VIP. But of course, now we feature deal of the month, and we keep going with the lighted tee from Avanex, one of the most popular items there. It's on there for 50% off, right? $50 off. But if you sign up for a newsletter, we're gonna send you another $50 discount code, so total $100 off of this amazing product. So check it out, and of course, don't forget to comment on this video. I'm wondering how you feel about this one, and if you've seen something like this with other manufacturers. Looking forward to those comments. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.